Yo, this is Fling, and we are doing a Week 6 Battle Royale first look on Underdog Fantasy. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Vegas game tiles. All right, so courtesy of DFS Army, we have the Vegas totals as they currently sit on Wednesday morning. So right away, like to look at this to see some games that really pop out. And I think we got some good games this week. When we first took a look at the slate, some people didn't like it. A lot of players, big name players on bye this week. But I think there's some good game environments. We get people back from bye, like Detroit, they were on bye last week. So Amon-Ra, Gibbs, Montgomery, Jameson Williams, Laporta, we get those guys back this week. And that's actually a game environment that I think has some high potential. Obviously, it's the highest on the slate. Dallas hasn't been very good this year defensively, not what we'd expect. And we know Detroit can score. So, and Dallas really hasn't been very good offensively, but maybe they can get it going in this game. They're certainly going to need to. They're underdogs at home. So 52.5 point total. That's a game environment that I do like. I think you could target specifically, Detroit isn't very good in the secondary. So I do think that Dallas can exploit that a little bit. Maybe Dak and Lamb can get going. And, and then we would need Detroit on the other side to keep pace. So maybe this is a game that Vegas gets wrong a little bit and ends up being a shootout with Detroit trailing Dallas and having to throw to come back and potentially win this one. So that's a game environment I think that, stands out pretty well. Another game environment that I think really has shootout potential. We saw it last week with Baltimore. Their secondary is not very good. So I think this game is same thing with Washington. Washington was expected to be a really bad team overall. And they're playing really well, but their defense is still a little suspect. So Vegas has Baltimore with a 29.25 implied team total. This is honestly the game that I think has the highest potential to shoot out, 1 or 2 anyway. And this is a game I'm looking to get pieces from. I'm looking for Derrick Henry. I'm looking for Zay Flowers. If I can get Lamar, awesome. Same thing on the other side. Brian Robinson Jr. Maybe get Eckler in the last round. Terry McLaurin, Jaden Daniels. So there's a lot of pieces in this game that I think we're looking to target. Another one that really stands out to me is Arizona going on the road to play Green Bay. High game total. Green Bay has a 27 implied team total, so their offense is definitely one you would look to target. Now, if you like the game, there are bring back options. It's a Marvin Harrison Jr., it's Trey McBride, maybe a Michael Wilson punt. There's going to be plentiful options in this game. I do think it's a little bit better of a matchup on the Green Bay side for the running attack. So I think Josh Jacobs played him a little bit last week. We can go back to Josh Jacobs. Obviously, Jordan Love stacks filled last week. Arizona is actually a pretty good passing defense through the first 4 games, and they've played a murderous row. So it's going to be a tougher matchup, but I think maybe that'll keep Jordan Love and Jaden Reed and, Dontavian Wicks and Tucker Kraft. Maybe we'll keep their ADP down a little bit, and we can look to target them at value because we just trust in the LaFleur offense. So we're going to see that in a second when we hop in a live draft. In fact, let's go ahead and see if we can get registered so we don't miss it. This is now $7, and they decreased it from 68,000 to 55,000. So 13,000 less people to beat to get a shot. And they've actually bumped it to 50K from 30K to 50K. So I love that. Let's go ahead and see if we can hop into a live draft for a first look. So we got 2 people we're waiting on. Hopefully this will go quick. Now we got Atlanta going on the road to play Carolina. This is a game that I really like this week as well, mainly because Carolina is just a terrible team. Um, Worst team in the league, really. And they're giving up 165 points allowed through 5 games, which is actually the most in the NFL. And it's the most in the NFL by like about 30 points. So, or at least on this slate. So it's a very wide margin between first and second on this slate. Las Vegas is second. They're giving up 131 points a game. So I like targeting Atlanta in this game. Now, it's a really good environment, a really good matchup for the running backs of Atlanta. So that's Bijan Robinson. That's Tyler Algier. And I think we're going to look to target them. On the Atlanta side, obviously, we can also consider the passing game. Now, it's not a super good matchup for the passing game, but it's always something I think you still want to be in consideration for when you have a team going against another team that is giving up the most points in the NFL, giving up a lot of points. We're still looking to target that passing offense as well because they give up a lot of points and there will be opportunities. Maybe they decide to throw in the red zone as opposed to run. And, you know, Drake London's wide open. Kyle Pitts is open. So I like Kirk Cousins sacks. We're going to see where he's at for ADP. But this is a game that really stands out, specifically the running game. But we want to target the pass catchers as well. And then last, I think a couple spots. Looks like the draft's starting here in a minute. A couple spots that I think we might look to target. People sleeping on Philly going on the road against are at home with a huge almost 9-point favorite against Cleveland team that's been bad against the run. So Saquon Barkley's in play. Jalen Hurts should have both AJ Brown and Devonta Smith back in this one. So I like the passing offense as well. I will definitely be interested in playing Hurts. So let's see where we're picking. We're picking third, okay? And yeah, Saquon's obviously, I would expect him to go first overall. Then we got CeeDee Lamb going against Detroit, and then Derrick Henry. I'd be good with any of these three. He gets the running back right away, which is good. Henry's been on a tear. Also, Bijan, I don't think he would make it back to me. He would be a nice guy to target. I don't think he'd make it back. So Lamb went first, so that's surprising to me. I like that, though. We'll see who goes second here. I'm good taking either Barkley or Henry. And it's going to be Henry for me. Now, the Battle Royale, if you've never played this before, there's only 6 entries into each pod, and there's 6 rounds. So they're really fast drafts. It's about a 5-minute draft. That's what I personally love about it is you can do a bunch of these really quick. You can actually 150 max this contest if you want. And I really like the 50K to first that they're doing now. Big fan of that. So Jaden Reed, that I guess people are not going to be sleeping on the Green Bay passing attack this week. A little surprised to see him go there. A little surprised to see Lamar go so soon. A lot of weird things happen in this draft so far in regard to ADP. So this is a game. This is a draft where maybe things are going to fall to me and I can maybe even start double running back here, which I normally do not do in these battle royale drafts. But I always love to play a running back in the flex. I always do 2 running back builds. It won about 66% of the time in 2023. So I'll be looking to double up on that if I can. So looks like we got London and Amon-Ra and Bijan all went. Now, Mike Evans would be an interesting play going against New Orleans. So would A.J. Brown. I think that's a good spot for A.J. Brown, who looks to be back this week. People are sleeping on him. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown here. This is a guy that can end up as the number one wide receiver and really the number one player overall on the slate. He's back in a pretty good spot against um, Cleveland, and of course, I can stack him with Jalen Hurts. In fact, let's see where Hurts is going. So he's going 21. I would see if he would come back around to me. If he came back around to me, I would take him. I like Evans in this spot. Evans just went. There went Jalen Hurts. So, people do interesting things like stacking Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. That's definitely an interesting stack. You know what? I'm going to take Josh Jacobs. I believe in that rushing attack in that game. It's much better matchup for Green Bay. So I will take Josh Jacobs there. Green Bay going against Arizona. And I could potentially, let's see where Marvin Harrison's going. I could potentially get Trey McBride, so I can do a little. He actually just went, so I could do a little ping pong stack. Marvin Harrison went as well. Let's see where Michael Wilson is going. So it came around real quick. We're going to take Zay Flowers here. And that is good because I have a secondary, I have a team stack there with Zay Flowers. Now I'm going to have to look to stack up my tight end potentially with my quarterback if I want to do that, but you don't necessarily need to. Well, that's one thing we found. You can run quarterbacks naked for sure. Let's see. Laporta just went. Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. I think I will take Tucker Kraft here and just run my quarterback out there naked. That's one thing that I looked at when I looked at the 2023 Battle Royale winners. The quarterback wasn't always stacked. So you don't necessarily need to force it if it's not there. One thing you can do is as long as you make sure there's correlation in your lineup, like I have here with Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers. I also have that with Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft. So we want correlation in the lineup. If the quarterback is unstacked, it works better if you can get like a running quarterback, right? If Jordan Love is there, though, I certainly could stack him with Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft. It would more so be for kind of an onslaught scenario where, they score just a ton of points. So that is in consideration. And honestly, we'll see who AMA takes at quarterback here. I'm guessing he's going to take Kyler Murray. So then Jordan Love would be there for me. And I could stack him with Tucker Kraft and Josh Jacobs. So in that scenario, Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft are obviously the stacking pieces, and you're playing for a very high scoring attack from Green Bay and potentially a shootout scenario. He doesn't know he wants to take a quarterback. He took Kyler Murray. Drake May is also getting the start. So that would be like a punt for sure. And I don't like him this week. But if you needed a guy who is going to run a lot, I think Drake May would be that guy. I'm just going to take Jordan Love here. He does correlate quite well with what I have. So I would be perfectly fine taking him there, playing for that, high end 30, 40 point score from Green Bay. And then I got the other stack of Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers. I got AJ Brown as a one-off. So I like my lineup. We'll take a look at it real here. I like this lineup because it's got a lot of firepower. It has a good projection, 78 points. I got Henry. I got Jacobs. I got that running back in the flex. AJ Brown and Zay Flowers. And, of course, my Jordan Love to Tucker Kraft is my main stack there. So pretty good first look lineup. Obviously, gonna dive into the research a lot more and do a lot more of these before Sunday's slate starts. If you guys like this kind of content, please let me know. Hit that like button, of course. Comment, let me know who you like this week in your drafts, who you're looking to target, the matchups that you are looking to, try to get in your battle royale drafts or your dog bowl drafts, of course. And stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you subscribe because I will be dropping a video with some players that I'm looking to target for these drafts and maybe some fades this week as well. So stay tuned and we'll see y'all next time.